here we are, Virginius and I, very proud to present to you the Zero Pollution Action Plan. And as I said, we also discussed a new approach to blue economy, which actually is an integral part of that. Climate crisis, pollution, biodiversity loss, threat of ecocide, they all threaten our marine environment and the long-term viability of the blue economy. So the approach we set out is to develop a sustainable blue economy, and Virginius will come back to that extensively next Monday. And I would really encourage you to listen to him, because I think this is one of the most exciting things I've been a part of in the last couple of months. Now, for today, the Zero Pollution Action Plan, it's geared to bringing the way we live, produce and consume within the boundaries that the planet has set. Pollution determines how healthy and how long our lives will be. Zero pollution is at the heart of the Green Deal, closely connected with our strategies such as Farm to Fork and Biodiversity. When we talk about being climate neutral, this is not just about being carbon neutral, but also having zero pollution. That's the only way we can truly become climate neutral and prevent the loss of up to 1 million species, which we risk doing now. So we need to urgently bring air, water and soil pollution down. By 2050, we want all to live in a toxic-free environment. There will still be some deposits, really, but they will have reached a level that no longer is harmful, neither for our health nor for the planet. This is important because pollution in the EU still leads to 1 out of 8 deaths. So of every 8 people dying, 1 is caused by pollution. Severe cancer, respiratory diseases, they're all linked to pollution, with the most vulnerable in society, like always, suffering the harshest impacts. Pollution in the EU and elsewhere is one of the 5 main drivers of the risk of ecocide. So it also contributes to the ongoing mass extinction of species. If we don't deal with it now, our children will have to deal with it, and that will cost a lot more and become much, much more difficult. So to create a toxic-free environment, we have to look at all sources of pollution: the cars we drive, the way we farm the land, the pesticides we use, the way we heat, power and ventilate our homes, even the noise we still make. It impacts our health and our lives, but it also determines the fate of the species on which all life on Earth depends. You know, we need to start understanding that if we talk about nature, we're also talking about ourselves. There's no such thing as humanity on one side and nature on the other. We're a component of nature. So, to give you an example, we want to reduce the health impact of air pollution by more than 55%, protect biodiversity from air pollution in an extra 25% of our ecosystems. We want to lower the share of people chronically disturbed by transport noise by 30% and cut in half the loss of nutrients, the use and risk of pesticides and the sale of antimicrobials for farmed animals and in aquaculture. The action plan also sets targets for plastic litter, microplastics and residual municipal waste, but again, I leave the explanation also to Virginius, obviously. There is not one source of pollution and there is not one solution. All our policies and upcoming legislative proposals must work towards achieving the zero pollution vision by 2050. We need to connect all the dots, and that applies to every single policy area the Commission has responsibility for. So our overall guiding principle is to avoid creating pollution. If pollution then becomes unavoidable, it has to be minimized, controlled, and, when necessary, cleaned up. Stricter enforcement will ensure that measures taken are also followed through, and this should be also a clear message to Member States, co-legislators. If you take a decision and the decision needs enforcement, we will enforce. This is of extreme importance. So before I hand over to Virginius, I want to mention a few actions on specific sources of pollution on air. We need to improve air quality outside and indoors. Our actions will include a proposal to cap ammonia emissions on noise. We will reduce noise pollution from transport by updating our rules for tyres, road vehicles, aircraft and railways. on water. We need to reduce pollution from, for example, microplastics and pharmaceuticals. And on soil, we will focus, among other things, on identifying and cleaning up contaminated sites. So, in conclusion, the faster we act, the better we ensure measures are implemented, the more chance we give the planet, and most of all ourselves, room to breathe again. And I think this is extremely urgent. Over to you, Virginius.